Islam. First, I give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. I give honor to his last and holy prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to the forerunner to the prophet, Brother Marcus Garvey. I give honor to all prophets of Allah, Jesus, Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad, etc. I think I said that backwards. I give honor to all the past leaders of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother C. Kirkman Bey, Brother F. Nelson Bey, and Brother J. Blakely Bey. And I give honor to our past Grand Sheik and moderator, Brother R. Love Ill. I give honor to our present Grand Sheik and moderator, Brother R. Jones Bey, and to his assistant, Brother A. Hopkins Bey. I give honor to all national, state, and local officials. I give honor to all of our viewers, our media team, and I give honor to our sisters, to my sisters on the panel, Islam sisters. Welcome back to Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk. Tonight's topic is coping in these modern days. I am Sister Ingrid Ill, Temple 71, Washington, D.C. Peace.
Islam. I give praises to our Father God Allah and honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to everything and everyone that the sister gave honors to. I give honors where honors due. I give honors to each and every one of you. My name is Sister T. Britt Bay from Washington, D.C., Temple 71. Peace.
Islam. First, I give praise to the great God, our Father God, Allah. I give honor to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to everything that the sisters said in front and before me. I also want to give a special honors to all of the sisters that are out there, that are with us, that are in need of love and encouragement. I want to just send you a special love, and I pray that you hear something uplifting today. My name is Sister A. Robin Obey from Temple Number 21, Brooklyn, New York. Peace.
Islam, Islam, Islam. First, I'd like to rise and give all praises to Allah, honor to our holy and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, honors to each and every one of you, honors to where honors is due. I also like to give honors to the leadership of the Moorish Science Temple of America, as well as the viewers, everyone who's tuned in. This is Sister Tiffany Hopkins Bey out of Temple Number 11, Philadelphia, PA. Praise Allah.
All right, sisters, who's going to start this conversation off, and who has the first question?
Sister Hopkins.
Say it again, Sister Brittany.
No, I thought you were going to open us up.
Praise Allah. So I'll start with the first question that I have, which is, how do you practice peace in moments of chaos? And I'll just start by saying that coping in these modern days came from the idea and the perspective of there's so many things going on in the world right now. I think we are faced with a lot of trying times, a lot of difficulties. To me personally, it seems like people are a little bit more on the edge, a little bit more stressed than normal. And so, being members of the Moorish Science Temple of America and living the life of Islam, I wanted to, kind of find out how is everybody dealing with everything that happens from day to day. So again, my question is, how do you practice peace in moments of chaos? Praise Allah.
Well, I'll just start and say, I think that's a wonderful topic because, we just spent, the last 2-3 years when we went through the pandemic, the world just shifted, in my opinion. It shut down. Big changes happened in many people's lives. You hear about people that broke up. You heard about people that got together. You heard about death. You heard about misery. You heard about a lot of suffering across the world. And then we emerged out ish, I guess, we kind of came out, and I think people are still feeling, the work of, what just happened, and it shows up. And sometimes I think people are angry. And I think people are holding on. Maybe they didn't make that big decision, or maybe, I'm thinking about a friend who thought they were going to break up, probably wanted to, but didn't. So now they sat in solitude and now are living in this state of mind that's painful for them. And so when I hear how do you create peace, I mean, I think how blessed we all are to be in this movement, to know that peace comes within.
Mhm.
It's not us seeking it. Nobody can make me happy. Nobody can, make me sad. If the prophet say, if you want to find your savior, you must look within. If you want to find your devil, you must look within. So I know that it's about me and my state of mind and my present choices. And I think, for a real practical sense of how I try to increase peace is just sometimes just sitting still,
That's right.
just sitting still and trying to
That's right.
figure out why am I feeling this way? Why am I in
Yes.
constant? Why am I all
Yes.
over the map? Why am I angry? And sometimes when you just sit down and be like, why am I, stressed out or worried about it? You got too much on your plate. That's why.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to sit down, write it down, and then ask yourself, these two things, do you really need to do them? Is it really that important? Can your children help you? Can you and sometimes I think we just put it all on, put on all the bags. I got another one here, I got another one here. And that causes stress too, you know.
The
Yeah.
bag lady did bring.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
So I think for me, it's when I realize when I'm really stressed out or when I'm feeling it, I need to seek peace. And that could be just out by myself. It could be walking around the block by
Yeah.
myself.
Yes.
I have to look within. I can't blame nobody for it. Even though I might feel like it. Sometimes I do. I'm like, "Oh, if my husband didn't help out more in the kitchen or help out more, I would feel this way." But is it really that? Or is he showing me when he turns off? He turns off.
Mhm.
He could do it better than I, but I'm like, how can I do that? Where things don't annoy me the same way. So that's just my thoughts on that, sis.
Praise Allah.
Islam. Islam. I kind of piggyback with you and Sister Hopkins, Bay, Sister Robin Bay. The world is definitely going through a lot, and I include myself in that because I have my moments as well, and that's why it's so important for me personally to stay grounded in my studies and my meditation practice is very important to me. Consistency with the two,
Mhm.
and I'm not always on point when the chaos. I look at people driving way more crazier now. I mean, I'm going to work and I barely change lanes. Cars they just
Mhm.
shooting up, and then I look at some of my coworkers. I look at them when they come to work. Some of them, I mean, they just look like they just somewhere else, and like so far close to the edge,
Mhm.
and just me seeing that, and sometimes there's chaos even in my own home, and I don't want to get caught up in that whirlwind. So just like you said, Sister Robin Bay, sometimes you just gotta steel yourself. Sometimes I have to just pray within myself, and there are times when I don't pull it. I can't pull it to do those things, and there have been times I've gotten caught up in the chaos, but the consistency of my practice helps me to catch it, and I can make that
Mm.
speedy reparation in the midst and correct that error. Yeah, it's a busy world. It really is, and that's why it's so important that I practice peace as well as trying to maintain it. TV shows that I watch, I listen to music. I go for rides by myself. I might take in a jazz concert. Um, my friends don't understand why I still do some of these things by myself. It's just me, and I just like doing it. I like, as I call it, taking myself out on a date. Just
Okay,
Tracy,
that's right.
I like doing that. But like with TV shows, I don't watch anything but stuff that's funny, stuff that demonstrates love and peace. I can watch the violent shows, but after I watch them, I have to watch something funny because I can't go to sleep with that in my system or in my spirit like that. I had bad dreams pertaining to that, but I like stuff that keeps me feeling, because I like to say I'm a colorful person, so I like to stay upbeat. So I like to do things or be around or involved in things that kind of keep me up. I like laughing and smiling. So yeah, so I just stay in my word, just staying grounded. Peace.
He's kind of just said,
Islam.
I'm sorry. Can I just say,
Go ahead.
when sister was just speaking, she kept saying, these are things that I like. These are things that fill me up. And it made me think about the prophet saying, know thyself. If you don't
Mhm.
know yourself, how would you even know to do that?
Yes.
How would you know that that would do it? So you really do have to know yourself, not again, someone else doing it for you. You don't need somebody else to take
Right.
you. You said, I just need to do it to fill me up. And when you said that, it immediately just flashed, know thyself. So, that's just agreeable. Thank you.
And sometimes you have to force yourself to make those kind of decisions, because I take myself out as well, but I didn't always do that. It felt strange for me to take myself out at one time. Like I didn't understand that way of thinking for some time. And then I went out to the movies by myself. I was like, yo, this is all right. This not half bad. You know? And I'm like Sister Britt Bay, I have to uh look at things and listen to things that make me smile, that make me happy, that put me in a groovy mood. The music I listen to, the movies I watch on television, like Sister Britt Bay. I refuse to watch something, you know, a little out there before I lay down. Matter of fact, I don't like to watch that kind of stuff, right? You got to be careful of what you listen to and what you watch. Whether you're going to, for me, whether I'm going to sleep or not, right? But the world is awry, and I don't know what
Yes.
happened to everyone during this pandemic, but it appears that we are on a tunnel vision mode. No one is thinking broadly. No one is thinking outside of themselves. I mean, this is just like of the majority. And they whip by me so fast on the road. You get enough tickets, you start driving like you're supposed to drive. And they just be blowing and blowing at me. And because I'm one of those, I've been in accidents, none of them were my fault. So I'm real fearful of getting hit. And so when somebody cuts in front of me, a lot of times my reaction is voiceful, not to them directly, but within my car. I'm a little upset, right? And then so I had to say, well, Allah, please let me get through this moment. Like I shared with y'all a few weeks ago what happened to me. Just let me get from this moment to the next moment. Then let me get from that moment to my car, then to my car to my neighborhood, and to my neighborhood to my building to my door. That's how I have to ask for, keep me in line, bring me back. I have moment by moment. And then when I get in here, I pray, thank you, Allah, for allowing me to get home. So that's one of the ways I cope with peace, and take myself out as well, read my Quran. That's one of the most peaceful pieces of literature I could pick up.
Yeah, it
And I
is.
like and I love to pick up a book, go to a Busboy and Poets, and buy some literature and just sit and read wherever I'm at. At the doctor's office, at the gig, in here. So yeah, peace.
Peace. Praise Allah. So praise Allah for what everyone demonstrated, because while everybody was talking, I felt like I could identify with so many of the things that y'all said. So the first thing was not being able to watch certain stuff at night. I'm the same way. Like I can't. If I hear and it's so deep because you know how some of us heard that growing up, so it really doesn't bother us. But like foul language and stuff like that, like if I hear that, that signals to me something's wrong, And so it puts me in a state of like anxiousness, and I can't sleep with that on my mind and that in my ear, or any of those things. I think that I have become accustomed to having peaceful sleep. So like I need peace in the background. I need everybody
Mhm.
like I need to know my children is in their beds, everybody's okay, everybody's feeling well. It's just having a certain mindset in order for me to be able to rest and relax. And it's so funny because I have praise a lot for my sisters that are in different states who will text me and say, "Get some rest, sis," and I'll be like, "Praise Allah, not today, but maybe tomorrow," or I'll say something like that, and they they know that because I'm consistently going all the time, moving, and but the thing about that is when you are consistently moving, you have to also be consistently practicing Islam, and you have to be constantly attaining to your principles and your lessons. And I say that because at times we're moving so fast and we're doing so much, it can become chaotic. It can become that. But I think that when you're moving with purpose and when you're moving with the consistent reminder of Allah being with
Yeah.
you, it's a different feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I recall back in the day, like yeah, I was doing a lot of stuff that was of naught, that was just pointless. You know what I'm saying? But I think today, moving forward, I'm doing things with a different purpose, and
Yeah.
my goal is different. My walk, my talk is different. Um, I see a lot of things when I'm going on and about, and I'm like certain conversations or certain interactions that you have with people, they are different now than they would have been 10 or 15 years ago. And I think all of us can attest to that because I think the more that we are unfolding and within ourselves, the more we're learning about ourselves, we're growing and unfolding. So therefore, 15 years ago, I might have checked somebody. Now I might just say, praise Allah and keep on moving. And they might not know what that means, and that's okay. But that's for it's for me. It's for me. And it's like when you see that so many people are zooming past you or speeding up to get in front of you, or I'm talking about some serious things that I have seen to the point where we have almost got into, car crashes or whatever. And it's like, especially if you have your babies in the car or whatever the case may be, you like, it's not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that serious. And it just makes you take a moment and stop and think, as much of you all have said, to just be still. Just be still. And you may not, because I know me personally, I have not been able to physically be still, but I have definitely had to still my mind and say, listen, Allah, please work this out. Because so right now I don't trust me. I'm just gonna be honest and say I don't trust me right now. I need you to step in and speak for me because I don't want to say the wrong thing and have this thing escalate all out of control.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to work with me in this moment. I've had that a lot more lately than I think I've ever had it. And it's just deep. So praise Allah. That's how like I said, I identify with you all and how we all practice peace in moments of chaos. Praise Allah.
Just as last thought for the viewers, which just came like for those that don't know, Islam means peace.
Mm-hmm.
Our religion is Islamism, the practice of peace.
Right.
So we're practicing trying to be peaceful out here. So,
Yeah.
if you don't know, now you know that's what it really means. It doesn't mean anything else anybody told you. That's what it means.
Praise Allah.
You know what I found about being still? I think of the word gift. being still has become a gift to me, because there was a time I had to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just really, I couldn't sit still with myself with my own thoughts, because there was a committee up here. Oh, and there was a lot of people up here. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
to run from that, I had to just be this way, that way, everywhere, right? But I asked for peace of mind and a lighter heart, and some of the woes of the world lifted off of me, and I begged that for a good while from Allah. And then when I was able to recognize what I was doing, sitting still, that it became a gift to me.
Mm.
There was something I couldn't do at one time. Now I cherish it. I look at it as a gift. Sitting still is definitely a gift.
Praise Allah. The gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah.
Yes. What's a
Okay.
good coping skill?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. What's a good coping skill? I'll kick it off. For me, honestly speaking, talking to others.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, yeah, I've had people say that I talk a lot, but nevertheless, it works for me. It works for me. I don't like to hold stuff in. Um, I don't like to sit on stuff. I need to get it out, you know, just to be able to deal with it a lot better. It's almost like, you know how you see things, you can see your life differently when you write it on paper.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you all have experienced that, but you could tell your story of your life, but when you write it on paper, it's like it's different. And that's how it is for me to be able to talk in order to cope, especially in today's times. Um, like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot going on out in the world, in your families, um, and talking helps. You know, having boundaries helps with coping. You know,
Mm-hmm.
knowing my limits helps. Um, out of these different groups that a lot of the sisters across the nation are having now, for us to just tap into ourselves or one another, you know what I'm saying, to keep each other on point, you know, striving and stuff. All those things helps me. You know, the sisters here on the panel, you all, when you answer your phone, when I'm able to share some things through our group chat.
Yeah, I think her internet was a little choppy.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna also when she started speaking, it made me think of the fact that when we talk, sometimes when we are calling each other to talk about a specific thing or whatever it is we're going through, that helps us sometimes work out the problem, work out the
Mm-hmm.
issue. Um, I think that when we're talking, when you're Islam, Sister Burbe, praise Allah. So I think that a lot of times for me anyway, when I'm talking to people, and I think that you can never talk too much, because when you're trying to resolve something or figure something out and you're dependent on the assistance of others that are like-minded individuals, that's a blessing. So I concur with the sister completely. When you're able to talk it out, you helping resolve that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it said Allah speaks to man through man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there are many times where I'll just mention something, and one of you might just say the answer that I didn't see it from that point of view, or or he'll, if you're willing and open, he will give you that answer. So I totally agree with talking it out, because the wise is going to share with you their knowledge.
Right.
And so if they're going to impart what they learn, that might be something that you need to know. So
Right.
Britt, you back with us? Not yet. I mean, I just said the other thought that came to me for a coping skill is she started to mention it too, which was writing things down. Yeah, sometimes if I just write what I think is bothering me down, and when I look at it, it's really not as bad as what it was in my head. It's like, oh, okay, let me just take a moment, because sometimes it all is living in here. I don't need to live all there. Sometimes I write it down, write what I'm thinking,
right.
it won't seem so bad.
Praise Allah. I concur with both of y'all. I think that and I like to sit outside a lot. Like, I like to just sit and observe like nature and just the quiet. I never really realized, like, I don't know. I think a couple years ago is when I really realized, like, I like just sitting outside in peace and quiet. So praise the Lord, like, I like taking my children to the park, but sometimes they're a little noisy, and I had to stop taking them on my little walk because I wasn't getting my peaceful moment while I was going. And so I was like, I'm gonna have to take them to like the playground for a while, and then I'll take my walk by myself. But praise the Lord, once Ramadan is over, we gonna get that straightened out, because I need my peace by myself. Like how some of you sisters date yourselves. Praise Allah, that sounds amazing. I don't know if I would ever praise Allah for the brother T. Hopkins Bay. Praise Allah, because we are due to go out. But I think as sisters, you need that time to be able to like just breathe, just chill. So yeah. I'm not gonna say too much because he's sitting right here, but praise Allah.
Brittany, can you repeat your question?
Oh, what's a good coping skill?
Yeah, music.
Yeah, I love that.
Music. Coming in, praying, running some bubble bath, lighting some candles, putting on some music, laying out some pajamas. Those are all things. Those are things that how can I say? Those are the things that I was groomed to do. I was groomed and taught to take care of me, but I chose to do otherwise. With my life, I chose to do everything opposite of what I was taught to do. Oh yeah, that's how it's going. So, taking time out for me, it's big. I don't have to fight for it as much as I used to in the beginning. I got 2 phone calls today. One of my girlfriends and one of my guy friends fussing at me because I didn't answer the phone yesterday, and I was like, I didn't even get a call from you yesterday. And I said, such and such said the same thing. And they were like, yeah, I called you. I said, well, did you leave a message? And they were like, well, no. I said, well, sometimes you gotta leave a message because I don't always get called for some reason, whatever. But I thought to myself, it must have been not meant to be for the phone call to come through, because I wasn't feeling too hot yesterday. And they probably would have got that side of me opposed to not getting me at all, which I say praise Allah for that. Those are the reasons, those are the ways that I cope. Now, I might not have answered the phone if I would have saw the call because I just wasn't feeling good. I have to do that for me. I have to say, I can't talk right now. I can't even pick the phone and say, I can't talk right now, because that's just for me. If I be dealing, I be going through and I deal, I get to the other side, but when I'm in the moment, I'm in the moment. I have to cope, right? And so those are some of the things I do. Sit still, be still, listen to some music, take a bubble bath, get a heating pad, because I'm trying to cope. But yeah, Praise Allah. Peace.
I'm with you, Sister Hopkins. I one of the things I love about Sister Griel and Sister Britt is that, you know, the way they know themselves and take care of themselves to me is teaching me personally.
Yes.
Because, you know, when Sister Griel said I was groomed that way, I was like, wow. Like,
Right.
I was, you know, my parents worked. My mother was a workaholic in many, many ways. So we didn't, you know, really take vacations, like, or, you know, I didn't really see her. I mean, she liked to dress up sometimes, and she, you know, felt it was really important to put herself together, but I didn't see that same joy in taking care of herself, because it was always about, we got to provide and take care of, whether it's, you know, the family or the extended family or, you know, stuff that's happened in the temple. That was just, and my father, that was it. And so I didn't see that, but I did see other people do things. And when I had children is when I realized how important it was to do that, because if I'm looking at my mother and the way she did it, then I need to realize my children are going to look at me. And so I'm definitely not good at it. But when I listen to you all and you're saying those things, like, I love music, and making sure you do it on your own. Like, in my head, I'm like, I would totally do it, but I haven't done it. You know, I'm going to be like, hey, girlfriend, you know, and then you got to negotiate, well, where we going to sit and who's driving.
Yes.
I don't want to deal with all that. Sometimes
Right.
I really don't want to deal with all
Oh,
that.
I don't like this person. I'm not gonna like this movie. Like, don't nobody want to go through that. You just want to just go.
Right.
Oh,
or you feel like you dragging somebody and you don't want to drag
right. Like, you're really not interested in this drama. Like, praise a lot, because my brother T. Hopkins Bay is right here. Y'all know he run the tech. And sometimes he'd be like, I'm really not interested in that. And I'm like, okay, I don't be interested in all that Marvel stuff, but I go. Praise a lot. But it's okay. It's okay. I know that sisters can go to the movies by themselves and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. We're gonna do that.
We're gonna do it, sis. Cause I mean, I go to the movies because he likes movies, but I'm not a movie person.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, am I not a movie person? Or it's just that I never pick the movies, or I, you know, it doesn't come from that place. It's always, you know, but music, oh
yes.
You know, and he's really good at saying, no, I don't want to go to that. And I'm like, really? But
right.
No, but I just want to move with you. So now I gotta find somebody, but maybe I don't have to find nobody. I just get the ticket and go. And
yeah,
that sounds so awesome. Like, y'all done opened up a whole new life for us. Like, oh, we can do that.
You know, when I was engaged, when my late fiance was still alive, we used to go to the movies a lot. And some of those movies he liked, I just could not get with. Like, I left in the beginning of it, walked out in the beginning of a movie. I said, dang, it's gonna start like this? Like this? I can't handle all that. You know, horror and terror and stuff. I can't do it. I walked out. And so we started going to the movies together, but going to separate theaters. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay too. Yeah.
Just do
Sister Hopkins Bay.
Right.
That was for you.
Yes, praise Allah. Because, you know, sometimes and praise Allah, you know, I don't want this to come off any, because we're having a great conversation. I love my children, I love my husband, but sometimes I want to go watch a good drama and be by myself. And it might not be for children. He might not be interested, and I get it. I'm excited at the possibilities. That's probably
So I'm going to share this. I wasn't even thinking about it, but when you brought this topic up too. So, you know, I shared earlier with the sister before I went on vacation, and the whole trip was about making the family feel good. The family, you heard me say that, right? So I was like, okay, I need to make sure there's breakfast, because if some people don't have breakfast, it's a wrap, right? And so I had to go to Walmart, go get the food for the, you know, get the food for that. Then I was like, okay, what activities do I think they want? Okay, the children gonna want a pool day. They've got to do the pool day. Then this one wanted this. So I was, you know, trying to do it. And I tell you, was a Wednesday, I broke for a moment. And now I realized what it was. I had a moment and I was crying. And I'm like, and then I felt conflicted. I'm like, you should be grateful that you were able to do this for the family. And it was like, you know what it was? None of this was for you. You could do this back at home. but none of it, I was like, I didn't think of one thing
For
that
yourself.
I really wanted out of it. And I was upset, and it was weird because they're like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't even know what I want, but you know what I want? I want to leave this room. And I left the room and I just walked around by myself, and they thought I went crazy. And I was like, but it's like I was just thinking about my job as a wife, my job as a mother was to give them these things, but I didn't think about what I wanted. And that walk by myself, I took a chair from the little patio, put it in the middle of the grass, and I just sat there. And I was just like, this is what I need. I just need peace. I don't need nobody to tell me they're hungry or they won't go. I don't need any of it. And so it really made me start to think about knowing thyself. That's when you said it made me think about Allah speaking to man through man. You're reminding me we got to know thyself.
That's right.
What's going to create that peace?
Right. That's so, praise Allah, sister, for that demonstration. What you just said, that is so true. It what it reminds me of, it makes me think about is the sacrifices that we do on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we make sure that as sisters, whether you're married or not, whether you're a mother or not, you are still making sacrifices every day to help someone, because that is our nature. Our nature is to nurture people and to make sure everybody else is okay. And at times, I think, in Sister Ravenel Bay and I's experience, because we have children, because we have husbands, because we are active in our religious establishment, we have jobs, we have businesses, there are a lot of things that we do, and we do not take the time to say, are you good? Like, what do you need? And so I think hearing you sisters say that y'all are like, listen, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to do what I want to. It literally, I know for me, I can only speak for myself. It literally opens something up in my mind, like, wow. So I wouldn't be being selfish if I did that. If I said, this is what I need right now.
But they say it unapologetically is what I love.
Yes.
The way when Sister Ripper was like, I do this, and my friends don't, and they don't understand. And she just said, like, unapologetic. This is what I want. I was like, right. Okay.
Oh, like y'all looking like the rock stars of the Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk right now. Like y'all them rock stars. We sit up here like, ooh, we want to be like y'all.
Any person that is constantly filling up others' cups should definitely be filling their own.
Yeah.
I can probably say for all of us, we fill others' cups up. That's just what we do. We extend ourselves. Sometimes we extend ourselves when we really don't have the energy in us to do it, but we do it anyway. So it's quite all right for me to fill me up, especially after I've been filling up someone else.
Absolutely. It's another form of self-care. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait for anybody else to do it for me.
Yeah, when you go from putting yourself at the very, very tippy end a whole lot, when you've been through that, and then your cup is empty, you filling up others' cups, and nothing's wrong with filling up someone else's cup. We're supposed to do that, right? If we have it in us, we're supposed to do that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I had got to the point where my cup was empty and nobody was pouring anything back into me. So I had to do it for myself. I had to think my conditions could be better. I had to join the Moorish Science Temple of America because I thought my conditions could be better. I saw my conditions being better than what they were, which is me giving all of me away and not having anything for myself. So I started doing that. I started filling me up. I like to say, eating my spinach until I got strong enough to be able to take myself out, to and not feel sad or lonely, because in one period of my life I could do that, but then when I got over here, it became like, no, you better not do that. You better not go without them. They're gonna be upset, or they're gonna think this and that. I'm like, listen, I had to tell me, listen, we're not doing all of that. We're gonna go.
Mhm.
They don't want to
Right.
go. We're gonna go. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. So yeah.
Wow. That's good.
All right. Question: do you avoid dealing with problems when they arise? If so, do you avoid it in a healthy way, or do you just try to numb yourself and put off dealing with it indefinitely instead? Or have you ever been that way?
I think that I'm definitely a person that tries to avoid confrontation. But what I realize is that everything does not have to be a confrontation. Some things can be a conversation so that we are understanding each other and on the same page. And it's deep because I think I go through this often with people. Like I rather like just not say anything to them. Yeah, I go through that a lot because I think that, you know, um in my mind I'm kind of working things out, trying to figure out like is this worth saying something about? Um because I think at times you want to make sure that it's not your lower self that is leading the situation. And you want to, for me anyway, I just want to make sure, is it worth saying something about? And so once I realize that it is, it's kind of like, okay, well, how do you approach it? Like, you know what I'm saying? When stuff is going on, like, how do you approach it in the most positive way? And for me, that could take some time. Like, you don't want to come off all hostile and angry, and you want to approach it in a way that you want the person to receive it in a certain way because you want to clear things up. So for me, I don't think I necessarily avoid it. I think at times I can procrastinate with it just because I'm searching for the right way to handle it. Um, but I am a firm believer that everything can be discussed and worked out with a respectful, proper conversation. Praise the Lord.
So great. Okay, you say that.
Islam, you know,
Sorry, I just want to hear her say the question again so I can hear it too.
Sure. Do you avoid dealing with problems when they arise? If so, do you avoid it in a healthy way, or do you just try to numb yourself and put off dealing with it indefinitely? And that could be now or in the past.
Go ahead, Sister Brett.
Islam, uh, Islam. I'm gonna say, I definitely don't avoid dealing with problems. And sometimes you have to assess the situation because what I am learning, and I'm trying my best to learn this, wise sentences are uttered in due season. And it's knowing what needs to be dealt with right now, or this might not be the time. I might need to sleep on this so that I can think clear. You also have to search your heart when dealing with problems because I know I don't want to speak from emotion because that emotion could be anger, and I can say something that I will regret later. So it really depends on the situation. And the part that I am learning, and I really want to learn this, is knowing if it's a good time right then and there. I've experienced a situation arise, and the other person that may be involved, they'll decide, I don't want to talk about this right now. And I've had attitude because of that, because I want to talk about it. I want to deal with it right now. But prayerfully, I'm grateful for that individual sleeping on it and maybe even taking a day or two, because when they did come back and they say, oh, okay, now they're ready to discuss that and address that situation, I've also had some time to think. And my thoughts are totally different from what they were at the time or in the moment. So I pay attention to stuff like that. And I'm not the best at that part, but I pay attention to people that are really, really good at that. And I think it's important in knowing when it's good to deal, because I'm used to dealing with it. If it's the problem right here and now, we're gonna deal with it right here and now. But that's not always good, because like I said, you gotta search your heart. You gotta know where you are, your state at that time. Because I don't wanna harm or make the situation worse than what it already is. Looking for a solution. And sometimes the answer or the solution might not be there right at that moment. So sometimes I have to sleep on it. I have to pray about it. And it may not come the next day, especially if I'm waiting on Allah to lead and guide me as to how do I address this. Because I have some situations that I really don't be sure how to address it. And I be looking to get an answer like right then and there, but I'm learning too. I gotta be patient. I gotta be patient because I want to do it the right way, and I want to feel good within myself and knowing that I addressed this situation to the best of my ability, in sincerity and love more than anything. So, yeah, that's it for me. Peace.
That's, sis, so much you were saying, I was reflecting on how I resolve issues. And I think it depends on if it's a problem that's with me that I have or I'm trying to solve, or is a problem with somebody else. So if it's a problem with somebody else, I don't like to have any undercurrent problems. So I always want to know and just try to understand what is it, or why is it, or why are we even here? Because if I didn't know that there was a problem going in, I'm even more curious to understand, well, why are you upset? And sometimes it's me, sometimes it's not me. And that took me some time, because there used to be a time where I was like, okay, I can just fix it, or I can give them what they need. But sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes they going through their own thing and I can't do nothing about it. I want to know what it is. And it's a blessing sometimes when you have space, because sometimes you think there's a problem, or someone will say there's a problem, and then in the moment I might be trying to fix it, but when I take a step back, I'm like, wait a minute, this ain't got nothing to do with me. You upset because of something else. I just got the tail end of it, and I just happened to. So giving that space is important for me. When it's something that's a problem of my own, I try to go within to figure out what is it. I do the same thing in some ways. I'm trying to, figure out what it is and how can I solve it. And what Allah has taught is sometimes you need to sit down and wait too again. You need to sit down and wait, and I'll go to you later. A few days later, somebody will call and tell me something and give me a different thought. I can't have it now, but that's what I want. If I see a problem, I want to answer like, let's solve it right now. Let's get it over with. That's my nature, but I'm learning that sometimes answers don't come in a day. They don't even come in a week. Sometimes they take months to get the answer, because you have to be ready and humbled to even see it.
True.
See the blessing in it. What about you, Sister Grail?
Well, it depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on if it's inside of me or if it's outside of me, like you were saying. Sometimes there may be uh, something that will take place, and normally I would like to resolve an issue right when it's happening. I don't like things to linger, but I have to ask myself, is this worth even addressing? First of all, is it worth even addressing? Because this raising this question may fuel what's already going on. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes your question will fuel something. And if I feel it's something that I just have to address, I have to pray on it first. Especially if my heart starts racing at the thought of it, I know I need to calm down and pull back, right? Because sometimes when I'm ready to deal with a situation, my heart is pounding because I'm geared in, I'm locked in, I'm ready to go. But then I have to stop and say, is there saving power in this? Then is what I'm about to do, is there some saving power in it? Sometimes, like you were saying, just have to sit back and take a moment, take a day or two. And if, like Sister Britt Bay was saying, when you think about it later on, the feelings you had before are no longer there. And you say, praise Allah, I didn't even step to that situation in the manner that I was going to. You know, yeah, so.
Sometimes too, I realize that I have to make sure that whatever the problem is doesn't trigger my lower self. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it, you know, my children were saying this on the trip. They're like, "Mom, you're real cool. You're real cool." But then when you shout out, boom, they're like, "We don't even see it coming. We don't know what's happening." And you know, and that's not necessarily good for me. You know, so sometimes I'm just real. You know, something's happened. I'm watching it. And then you just push it just a little too much. And then you're like, well, what happened? Who is she? You know? So I think that's important too, depending on the problem. Sometimes it's important for me to kind of sometimes step back because maybe I really don't need to hear what's about to hear. Get knowing yourself. Sometimes I'm like, you may not want to walk in that right now.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord for that, because I get a lot of when I'm in that zone. I get a, "Mom, you okay? Everything all right?" I feel like they'll keep asking me, "Mom, you okay? You okay?" No, because you know that the only reason why you ask because you see I'm a little tense. But praise the Lord. I think that at times, you know, when we are when we're trying, I don't necessarily think it's avoiding certain things. I think it could be you're just trying to process it all. Sometimes it takes you, because I know for me, it's like when certain things come up, like the sister was saying, if it's a problem specifically with me, like I'm a person that I need to know, well, what happened, because I know my intentions was not to do whatever you think that I have done.
That's right.
So let me process this for a moment, and let me. Now this is where I know that is a flaw, because I will try to figure out what it was that you saw in whatever happened to make you feel that I would come off in that way. And so I'm like, okay, praise Allah. But I think at times, like it was said earlier, sometimes you cannot fix what someone has already thought of you or how they felt, because their perception is their reality.
That's right.
But we also have to be careful, because some people, their perception being their reality, they will play that they are the victim all the time. And it's like everything you say to them can be like so offensive, and you were coming for them, and it's like, I just said that was your day. How was that offensive?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. And so I had to
not enjoy your day.
These modern days right here is different. Is everybody is very, very touchy, and everything you say can be used for good, it could be used for evil, and it's like you're literally walking on eggshells. You have to be careful where you step. And for me, I'm just like, listen, it's not that deep. We are about love. We're about love. And we're about truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So listen, all those different things could not have possibly meant that me saying "how was your day" was offensive to you. And if it is, so praise the Lord, how can I help you? Because I don't mean that to be offensive, but seriously, because something's wrong.
Mhm.
Something's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, yeah, I think that we just gotta continue to work on ourselves, keep ourselves in uplifted in prayer, and pray for our brothers and sisters out here because we don't know where their state of mind is or what they're going through. Um, I definitely pray for each and every one of us because I feel like the world is awry right now. Like it is
Yes.
awry. It is deep. And we know that studying our Quran helps us get through, and going to our meetings helps us get through, but everybody doesn't have that.
Mhm.
Or some people don't want it.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
we gotta continue to pray for our brothers and sisters. So praise Allah.
I mean, sis, you said what I was thinking, which is we have the lessons and we're trying to work on ourselves. Sis Griot said, she said she wanted her condition
Yeah.
to be, but that
Mhm.
mean that everybody that we interact want their condition to be better. Know that there's a way to do it
Yeah.
the way we know how to do. I'm not saying the way they do it is wrong. I'm just saying the way they're doing it may be different. And they working out their life sums like we working out ours.
That's right.
So sometimes,
Yes.
even when you're interacting with people, I was thinking about someone when we were asking that question. Like, I didn't understand why they were coming from. They were coming from left for me. They were like they had like this expectation of who they wanted me to be to feel it them, which that wasn't my role. My role
Right.
is to be
Right.
me, and my role is to be me. And there might be parts of me, but I can't feel that 24/7 for you. We're not in that kind of connection where you're not, I'm trying to take care of yourself. You got to take care of yourself. And so she's asking for way more than I could give her. But I thought at first it was me, and so sometimes I have to remember that, not everybody is on that path the same way. And so where they are may not be necessarily where you are. And that's okay. Maybe they're attracted to your light. And that's why they came there to begin with.
Mhm.
But they need to get their own light. And here's lessons. Let me show you where temple is, because we can't solve that for other people too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Praise the Lord. That sounds like inconstancy.
Hmm.
Inconstancy. And then there's an instruction in there, man's God today, tomorrow's not God. So it's like the inconstant, they want you to be this today, and then tomorrow they don't know who they are today, or tomorrow who they're gonna be.
Right.
So it's like, how you gonna put expectations on me when you don't even have those same expectations for yourself? We have to be
Yes.
clear and focused on what we are asking of others and what we are giving to others as well. Praise the Lord.
That's it, sis.
That's right.
We got 2 minutes, and
Right.
they said we came in right on time.
Praise the
So, I mean, we have time for closing thoughts, though. Anyone want to? I mean, this is a really beautiful topic, and I want to thank Sister Hopkins Bay for the situations that she was going through. That was like, are y'all feeling this about these modern times? Tell them.
Oh yeah. I just felt like we all we talk, and we have a lot that we go through in our day-to-day lives. And sometimes it's a lot. And I think we at times we are so concerned with making sure, like, saying we're okay, we're good, we're fine. And I'm like, no, the sisters can tell y'all, we had one meeting where I'm like, listen, no, everybody's not okay. What's going on? We got to talk. Let's talk. But it wasn't out of hostility or anger. I just, sometimes you could pick up on the vibration, and you know that your sisters may need to get something off their chest, and I may need to get something off my chest. And praise Allah for the sisterhood of Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk, being able to have conversations and work those things out, and talk about the things that we've had happen to us out here in the world. We are each other's keepers, and we are out here battling on the front lines, wearing our turbans, wearing our buttons, dealing with those who are conscious and unconscious. And sometimes it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think that for us to always be like, we're okay. When someone says, "How are you?" It's like, "I'm good. Praise the Lord, I'm good." Sometimes you're not. And you need to be able to say that you're not and be able to figure out and find resolution, as our prophet teaches us, how to get through. So praise Allah.
I just want to say, sometimes if you're not sure how you feeling, get a feeling chart. Get a feeling chart. And go from there. Someone taught me that, because I used to say, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm fine. That's not a feeling. Okay and fine. Find that on the feeling chart is what I was told. So I'm good at saying that. I'm good, I'm straight. Everything is everything. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Sister Brippe, any closing thoughts?
No, I don't have any. Y'all said it. Y'all said everything.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. Well, I want to thank everybody for being here on today's show with us. We pray that this was inspiring. If it's so, please like, share the message, share the thought. You don't know who you're going to touch or whoever needs to hear it. And so we want to be able to say thank you to the viewers. Of course, on this Thursday, we have Universal Love. A brother and sister Adams Bay will be hosting. I'm sorry, did I say Thursday? Thursday, Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
What day is it?
Yes.
Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And then of course we have the following week, Sakara Sacred Healing will be happening with brother and sister Barry Bay. And then we are going to close out our season. We have a big special show that's coming up in 2 weeks. You are not going to miss it. Make sure you are here. Tell everybody about it. That'll be in 2 weeks with Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk. And with that, I'm going to say see you then and peace.
Peace.
Peace.